handcuffs because we don't know what you've got on
No, you
you.
don't though, because I'm not hostile.
But listen, put yourself in our shoes. If you did this job,
Alright, I will.
do the same thing.
No, because I would use reason and common sense and logic
But
to
if
know
someone's
that,
being
that.
Original footage credit goes to Collis. Make sure to subscribe to their channel for more powerful audits and real encounters.
Alright, yes then the people. I have it in my sights. This is the famous Colindale police station. For those that aren't aware, this is like the equivalent, the North London's equivalent of Lewisham. I believe like this is like the murder investigation headquarters for the north side of the river, and Lewisham is for the south side of the river. So yeah, this is what we're dealing with right now. Yeah, so it's a big old station. See, this is a bit out of hours. I come here on a bit of a random one, so I ain't done this for a minute. Gonna see what's going on. See if we're gonna get any questions or anything.
Literally, so.
We begin at Colindale Police Station in North London, a place the auditor calls the equivalent of Lewisham's major crime centre. Right from the start, he sets the tone: this isn't just any location, it's serious ground. In the UK, filming in public is perfectly legal, even outside police stations. The real question is, how will the officers handle it? It doesn't take long to find out. Within minutes, the mood shifts from mild curiosity to outright confrontation. Let's watch how fast the tension escalates.
Yeah, just filming, mate.
Just filming?
Yeah.
Filming what?
It's anything I can see.
What for?
Why not? Can you stand back, mate? Thank you.
Why are you
Can
filming?
you stand back, mate?
Why are you filming?
Can you stand back, mate?
Why are you filming?
Can you stand back?
Why are you filming?
If you stand back, I'll answer you.
Why are you filming?
Can you stand back, mate? What's going on?
You're not allowed to film police stations.
I'm not allowed to police.
Okay,
film
you're
police
detained at the
stations.
moment.
Okay,
section one.
alright.
Here comes the first real clash. Why are you filming? The question gets repeated again and again, while the auditor calmly asks them to keep some distance. The rule couldn't be clearer: filming in public spaces is completely legal. Yet, the officer's insistence on demanding a reason makes their response seem out of line with that standard. The tension rises far quicker than it should. But pay attention, things are about to get even more revealing.
That's what we're checking, mate. You don't have to touch that button.
Okay, so just for a bit of context, this officer right here has just cuffed me. I don't know if you'll see that footage. This kind officer's just taken me out of cuffs. This is a lady. What's your name, sorry?
PC Emily Gilroy,
Emily Gilroy. Where are you from, Miss Gilroy?
counter-terrorism.
Counter-terrorism unit. So we've had a bit of compromise. She's agreed to speak to me. Well, I've agreed to speak to her as long as the cuffs were taken off. So now we're having this conversation.
Here, we witness the aftermath. The cuffs have already been applied and then removed. Under PACE, Police and Criminal Evidence Act, the use of handcuffs must meet two tests: necessity and proportionality. Applying them before even asking basic questions clearly clashes with those principles. The auditor calls this out, calmly, firmly, pointing to the imbalance between authority and accountability. But the real flashpoint is still ahead, when counterterrorism powers suddenly come into play.
Miss Gilroy, what do you want to know?
Well, I want to know why you came in filming the back gates, which has led to you being in handcuffs when officers arrived because they didn't know what you were doing and you didn't want to provide your details.
Because I'm documenting abuse of like terrorism legislation, stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, legally I don't have to actually give you a reason. I don't have to account, so I don't actually have to say anything. But
okay, but it's going to make us suspicious, isn't it?
okay, yeah, but legally speaking, I don't have to account for myself in a public place. Is this a public place?
Yes, of course it is.
Okay, so technically, if I'm in a public place doing legal activity, I don't have to account for myself, right?
No,
so technically,
but
I don't even have to say anything, right?
That's fine, absolutely fine. I'm not disputing.
The officer now cites suspicion under terrorism legislation. But under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, that power demands a genuine and specific suspicion, not just a vague feeling. Simply filming outside police gates rarely meets that standard. The auditor reminds him of this, calmly asserting that lawful public activity doesn't require justification. Still, the officer presses on. And what follows next? The exchange starts to heat up fast.
But you've got to appreciate these officers are just doing their job at the end of the
I
day.
don't think they are doing their job though, no.
Well, I'm not here to dispute that. What else do you want to ask me?
I thought you were the one that was asking me.
Well, obviously we want to know.
I would
why
like to.
you
All
were
right
filming
then.
the
All right.
back
Let me
gates.
ask you a question. I've got a question for you. You ready?
Can you answer me why you were filming the back gates first? Let's be fair.
I've literally just answered the question. I'm documenting abuse of legislation by police officers.
Well, what's the abuse of legislation? Where's it been abused?
So I've just been cuffed and searched without reasonable grounds.
But that was after you started filming.
Yeah, of course. But I am allowed to
If
film
you-
this. Look, guess what? I can stand here and film this as much as I like. Does it?
Okay.
I don't know if that's computer. All right, you have a listen. You have a right to speak to me, fine.
Yeah.
But you don't have a right to just put cuffs on me, and then
Well,
start.
we
Nah,
do to
you
safeguard
don't though.
the-
You
Okay,
don't,
well,
because I'm not
gonna do-
hostile.
I'm not getting anywhere with you because you're not prepared to listen.
The back and forth intensifies. The auditor stands firm, filming is legal. The officer counters, it makes us suspicious. And right there lies the divide, suspicion must come from evidence, not personal preference. It's a textbook example of the clash between legal rights and perceived threat. When the auditor refuses to give his name, the tension spikes even higher. Now, the focus turns to the next critical question: what specific search powers are actually being used?
Is there any other issues that I can help you with today?
I would like you to explain the grounds for the search. Because he first said section 1 of PACE, then they changed it to section 47 of the Terrorism Act, which, as you know,
43.
no, they changed it to 47.
Right.
And as you know, it has to be authorised by an inspector. The inspector himself didn't know that, and he scurried off because he knew that I knew what I was talking about. And now you're saying it's section 43, so I'd really expect...
Well, no, I'm asking, was it 43 or 47?
No, what was it, mate? What was it? Section 1, and then it was section 47, and what is it now?
I think there was
So
a
why
bit
don't you
of
write me a
confusion.
copy
I
of the
will
search
do,
slip, yeah?
I will
How
do.
about you do it right now?
I'll go upstairs and do it.
Okay,
I'll give it back
how
to
about you do it?
yeah?
How about you do
I
it?
haven't
for me
got one in my
straight away?
pocket, but I'll get it.
All right. So what is it then, mate? Was it section 1 or 47?
I think it's 43. But
Was it 43?
I'll write it down and I'll confirm it for you. All right?
You do that, yeah?
I will.
Good lad.
Here comes a major wow moment. The officers first cite PACE, then suddenly switch to Section 47 of the Terrorism Act, and later to Section 43, all within the same encounter. That's a serious red flag. Consistency matters. A lawful search must rest on clearly stated, specific grounds. Changing legal justifications mid-conversation doesn't just confuse things, it undermines confidence in the entire procedure. The auditor catches it immediately, calling out the inconsistency. And if you look closely, you'll see the inspector quietly stepping back from the scene.
Have that slip for me, mate, yeah? And next time, don't be putting cuffs on people and stuff without any reasonable grounds.
Right. Okay,
And let's get
well,
our
I think
stories
the
straight.
conversation is finished. I'm happy with everything. Thank you for talking to me, and I wish you well. All right? Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to keep filming as well.
That's fine. No problem at all.
All right. Get that slip for me, mate. Don't forget. Yeah, I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting. And you're going to be sued as well for
Make sure you stay away from the gate.
Yeah, no, I won't, mate. I'll be right there. But yeah, you're going to be sued as well for an unlawful search under section 43 or section 47, yeah?
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I can come in here as well. Yeah, it's a public place, yeah? Yeah, I can come in here. It's a public place. I've got a question for her.
The auditor says it outright: don't put cuffs on people without grounds. It's a simple rule: restraint always requires clear justification. By pointing out the shifting explanations, he exposes real gaps in training, communication, and procedure. The officers assure him they'll provide a search slip, but there's a bigger issue lingering: the body-worn camera had been switched off earlier.
That inspector, bro, they didn't. The thing is, yeah, half the conversation they didn't even let me document it. He just turned off the recording straight away. I was put in cuffs, and then basically what happened was they called someone from counter-terrorism, and then she was trying to get information out of me, and I told her, how about this? How about you take me out of cuffs and let me record, and then I'll give you some information. Obviously I didn't give them, well, you saw the footage. Obviously I didn't give them any information, but yeah, this is Colindale police station. I'd expect a similar sort of reaction at Lewisham. But yeah, and they still don't know who Coley Burks is, you know, counter-terrorism squad, this and that. They still don't know who Coley Burks is. So yeah, interesting bit of footage. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's just wait for this guy to get the search slip, man. Fucking piss takers. You saying got the J's on today though. Got the J's on today. But yeah, guess what? I'm gonna keep filming here now. This is no, they really pissed me off. Do you know how many of them came out there? And then inspector come out. They even said something about section 47, and I said that has to be authorized by inspector. So many of them scattered once they knew.
This moment is key. The auditor clarifies that the recording stopped the instant the cuffs went on. Sure, policy isn't the same as law, but real transparency means officers should announce and document every action. Cutting the camera right when things escalate doesn't just look bad, it weakens public trust. Still, the auditor keeps his composure. He resumes filming, creating his own record of what's unfolding. But pay attention, what happens next changes everything.
Why do you film police stations? What's it all
I've
about?
told you.
But you've been going around filming different police stations.
Yeah, and I
but
can, because
why?
I can.
I know you can, but what are you getting from it? I know you can.
I think it would be difficult for me to explain it to
I'm
you.
just interested.
I don't just do it here to like cause a nuisance and try and belittle you lot. Like the whole time I've kept it together pretty well, to be fair, despite all the.
Yeah, you did compared to a
Despite-
lot of people I've dealt with. Absolutely.
Yeah. So like obviously like the point here is not to try and belittle you lot. The point is, like, I suppose you could say it's a form of like civil activism, do you know what I mean? And then we're just seeing, because we're seeing how the authorities react to people filming in public places, and it so happens to
But
be.
for what I'm genuinely interested.
Okay, so
For what
if you let me
purpose?
explain. So it happens to be that many officers are just kind of intent on violating people's rights without any given kind of reason or grounds. Do you know what I mean? We've got officers here, even your inspector himself. He didn't have a clue what he was talking about. He was saying section 47
Well,
didn't
you
need to
thought
be.
he didn't,
No, but he didn't though, and I could tell he did it. That's why he scarpered. Do you not understand the point? We're here to find the bad apples, so
might
to
have had
speak.
something else to-
That you're
to
probably
do.
one of the best.
Now the tone shifts, almost conversational. The auditor explains that what he's doing isn't provocation, it's civil activism. Filming in public is perfectly lawful, and activism itself is a form of protected expression. His steady, measured tone stands in stark contrast to the earlier show of force, exposing a quiet double standard. The officer, however, stands by their caution, pointing to the tense climate of today's world. What follows isn't just dialogue, it's a collision of two perspectives, one rooted in accountability, the other in control.
I've only been here for 5 minutes. It's not like I've been here for like 4 hours, like ducking in
No,
deep, like
because-
weaving and trying to come up to here and do all this. I've literally been here. I come up here, done this. Your guy come and put me in cuffs within 5 seconds. He comes straight up to me, like, do you know what I mean? Right up to my face. And I said, mate, can you stand back?
We don't know nothing about you. You've not provided any details. So it's going to make us suspicious. We've got to put you in cuffs because we don't know
Nah,
what
you
you've got on
don't
you.
though, because
You
I'm
do
not hostile.
But listen, put yourself in our shoes. If you did this job,
Alright, I
you
will.
would do the same thing.
No, because I would use reason and common sense and logic
But
to
if
know
someone's
that
being
that
obstructive-
that an alleged terrorist. Yeah, but I can be obstructive. It's not illegal for me to be obstructive
But
or
we're
to be
not
difficult.
naturally thinking you're terrorists, Coley.
Yeah,
we
no,
don't
no,
know
but,
who you are.
yeah, but then why was I searched under terrorist legislation?
Because we do get a lot of people. Yeah, thank you. Because we do get a lot of people.
But you get that a lot, don't you?
No, we get a lot of people filming for CT reasons. So you've got to appreciate that.
I don't
Yeah.
think about it. All right, so you work for the counter-terrorist team. Let's think a little bit logically now. Would a prospective terrorist film a police station, which I don't believe is a high-value target for a
I get you.
police station,
I
in
get
broad
you.
daylight? Like there would be a more covert way of doing it. If you
There's still
extrapolate
people
based
out
on the
there.
terrorist attacks that have happened in this country,
Yeah.
I don't think many of them have been carried out like with people
But
filming
not
and in
every-
broad
yeah,
daylight.
I get you, but not every situation, not every person that wants to do that, carry out a CT attack, has that way of thinking. They're all different.
I know you can never know what happens, but like I could walk across the street and get hit by a car. Like anything could happen.
Of
But
course,
the data
agree.
does not support the fact that there's no data that supports the fact that police stations are targets of terrorists.
No, I'm not
Does
saying
that make
they
sense?
are.
Because
I'm not saying
unfortunately,
they always are.
like the opinion towards you lot.
But we've got to be protective of it.
Of course
We
you do.
have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. Listen, you've got every right to speak to me, and when you do, I'm not going to try and antagonize you to get a reaction. Like that's not how I do it. Do you know what I mean? But a lot of the time, you're kind of doing the job
Okay.
for me, so to speak. But
All right. Well, I'm glad I now know who you are.
it wasn't that hard, was it? Like,
Yeah, but it shouldn't have to be that hard.
How did you
could
find
just-
out? How did you
could
find
just
out?
Tell me your name.
but like, how is there such an information
Just
failure
so
like
you
across
can-
the
You
Met?
can call me Emily, and I can call you
Yeah.
whatever your name is. That's
Yeah.
all. That's it. All it is.
But it's like, how do you not know about this? Not one of those officers knew what it was that I was doing. Like, is it that difficult?
Because,
like, for the information to trickle down throughout the Met?
How can you expect every officer?
No, but these auditors,
especially we've got a lot of new ones coming through.
Yeah.
How can you expect every officer to know who you are?
I mean, regardless of
It's
whether
unreasonable.
I'm not saying that I expect them to know me by name or my alias, but I would expect them to be able to work out that some guy filming the back gate of a police station in broad daylight is probably not a terrorist and is probably doing it to get some sort of rise out of police.
9 times out of 10, yeah, absolutely.
I would expect but 9 times out of 10 the inverse
Hayley,
happens.
we don't know that, and we've got a job to do.
Yeah, but you should know that because there's even a memo that went round.
Come on.
No, it just doesn't make no. I am being reasonable. It does not make logical sense for someone. Like, I'm just letting you grab me. Like, within 5 seconds, I was cuffed. So it's like, if I was supposedly gonna plan to attack a police station, doing it like this, it just doesn't make any sense.
It might not even be in a terrorism purpose. You might be here because you've got a grievance against a particular officer,
of course,
and you've come here to attack that officer. It could be even that. We have to look at the bigger picture, Colin.
Yeah? I hear that, but it's like, me talking to you and these other officers is a complete coincidence. I haven't come here like, knowing this particular officer works at this time. Like, I've just turned up
But
here.
you might do.
And whatever happens, happens.
You might do though.
But even then, I don't think that they would just stand in the place where the cars come in and out of. Like, camera or not, some bloke standing here
Cody,
looks suspicious.
Come on. We get all sorts doing all sorts of things. So you've got to realise that. All right.
This closing section captures the auditor taking on the terrorism rationale head-on. He asks the obvious question, why would a terrorist openly film a police station in broad daylight? Backing his point with data, logic, and historical precedent, he dismantles the claim piece by piece. The officer eventually admits there's uncertainty, but the disconnect remains clear. 3 key takeaways stand out. Filming in public is entirely lawful. Misusing search powers only undermines public trust. Consistent, transparent policy is what truly builds credibility. If you found this breakdown insightful, consider subscribing for more calm, evidence-based analysis of UK audits. In the next episode, we'll explore another case where policy and law clash in an unexpected way. This video is for educational purposes, not legal advice.